Welcome to the Golden Bridge with Justina and James, where wisdom and technology meet freedom. Every week, we explore how your life experience, your stories, your silver, can become your greatest asset, your gold. Together, we'll share inspiration, practical tools, and real stories to help you create income, purpose, and legacy with the power of AI. James is here alongside Justina. They're here to guide you across the bridge, from wisdom to freedom.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, our focus isn't just about watching life happen. It's really about actively designing how we thrive in the years ahead. We're digging into source material on continuity of life, health, wealth, and wisdom across the golden years. For you listening, think of this deep dive as, well, a shortcut, a way to reframe later life, not as some kind of retreat, but more like a strategic advance.
Yeah.
Built on experience.
And what's really striking, I think, is how clear the core premise is in the sources. This synthesis we call the AI sage. It says right up front, you're not starting over, you're starting higher.
Starting higher, I like that.
Yeah, with the wisdom you've already earned, it completely flips the script, you know? The whole goal is using those decades of experience, using them to build what the sources call the Golden Bridge.
The Golden Bridge, okay.
It's that intentional connection, see, between where you are now and the future you actually want, a fulfilling one.
That framing really resonates. It suggests all that, life experience, the lessons, the tough decisions. It's not sunk cost. It's capital.
Exactly.
Earned capital.
Okay, so let's unpack this bridge metaphor. Piece by piece. It needs strong supports, right?
Yes.
A solid foundation. We're going to look at the three big pillars, the planks of that bridge: health, wealth, and wisdom. We'll get into the data, some stories, and maybe some tools people often miss. Things that make this continuity idea actually work. Let's start with the absolute base. The first plank, health. The source material quotes Jim Rohn, take care of your body, it's the only place you have to live.
Yeah.
Without putting effort here continuously, the whole thing is just wobbly.
And the data gives us a starting point. It's sobering, maybe, but
Yeah.
also full of potential. The National Council on Aging says nearly 80% of adults over 65 have at least one chronic condition.
80%. Wow.
And 68% have two or more. Now, that's not just a number. It's millions of people experiencing a lower quality of life. But the key insight from the AI sage is this, that reality often comes from discontinuity, from habits falling away. It's not just aging itself.
That's the critical point, isn't it? We tend to assume decline is inevitable.
But the sources argue lifestyle choices are actually our most powerful lever. Things like sleep, movement, nutrition, how we handle stress. But how do you get people past that mental block? That feel too tired or maybe too old to start something new.
Well, that's where aiming low initially, but keeping it going, continuity, is so vital.
Yeah.
Take movement. The CDC data is clear. You don't need to run marathons.
Right.
Just 30 minutes of walking, say 5 days a week. That dramatically cuts the risk of heart disease, stroke. It's about finding a rhythm, building that habit.
We saw that perfectly with the story of Ellen in the source material. She was 72, felt totally overwhelmed by exercise. But she committed to just 10 minutes, a 10-minute walk before breakfast, every day.
Consistency.
Exactly. That small daily thing. Over 6 months, it led to weight loss, much better mood, and her blood pressure, cholesterol numbers, better than they'd been in a decade. It wasn't some massive overnight change. It was sustained small steps. Continuity.
And that brings us right to the silent superpower of health.
Sleep.
Sleep.
Yes.
Matthew Walker calls it the Swiss Army knife of health. And for good reason. It's not just downtime. It's when your brain is actively flushing toxins, locking in memories, repairing your immune system. It's active work.
But it's alarming, isn't it? The CDC says 1 in 3 adults just don't get enough sleep.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of seniors maybe think disrupted sleep is just part of getting older. Benign.
They do. And that thinking is actually kind of dangerous. Better sleep continuity, so consistent bedtimes, wake times, keeping the room dark and cool, that improves health span. Not just lifespan, because that deep sleep stage, that's essential for the brain's cleaning system, the glymphatic system, to work. If you skimp on sleep, you hurt memory, you increase inflammation system-wide, it directly undermines those continuity goals.
The fuel, nutrition, that's the third piece here.
Right.
Harvard research shows that shifting to healthier eating patterns, even if you start later in life, can add more than a decade to your lifespan.
A decade, just from food choices.
The message isn't about harsh restriction, though. It seems to be more about rhythm again. Steady energy from good food supports the focus you need for, well, for the next plank. Okay, let's use that energy then. Let's shift to the second plank of this golden bridge. Wealth.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about designing money so it supports your life, your independence, your purpose. The AI sage puts it simply. Money should serve your life, not the other way around.
And the whole landscape around wealth, especially later in life, has changed dramatically. There was a Fidelity study in 2022 found 60% of adults over 55 worry about running out of money, outliving their savings.
60%, that's a huge worry hanging over people.
It's very real. And as a result, you see this reflected in a 2023 Transamerica report. Nearly 40% of people we call retirees are still working.
40%.
Yeah. So retirement isn't really about ending work anymore for many. It's about redefining work. Often it's for purpose, not just pure necessity.
Okay, but hold on. If 60% are worried about just basic security, does encouraging them to, say, start a business or consult add more risk, more stress? Doesn't that potentially undercut the health gains we just talked about?
That's a really important question. We can't advise trading security for purpose, right?
Exactly.
And the AI Sage addresses this. It structures wealth continuity in layers, 3 of them. First, security. This has to be absolutely rock solid, covering the basics. Housing, food, and critically planning for long-term healthcare costs, mitigating those big potential shocks.
Okay, security first, non-negotiable.
Right. Then comes flexibility. This is the margin, the money specifically for experiences, travel, hobbies, the things that actually make life enjoyable. This flexibility often needs some smart planning, maybe structuring assets to be tax efficient, that sort of thing.
Got it. Security, then flexibility, and the third layer
is legacy. Planning how your wealth can support others, maybe charities you care about or helping family. It lets wealth become a tool for your values.
That makes sense. Security, flexibility, legacy.
Mm-hmm.
So that entrepreneurial surge you mentioned, where does that fit?
It fits perfectly into flexibility and purpose, often. The Kauffman Foundation found something fascinating. People over 55 are almost twice as likely as younger folks to start a business.
Twice as likely? Really? Why?
Well, they have advantages, right? Deep networks built over decades, established credibility, often fewer distractions like young kids at home.
Okay. Leveraging experience.
Exactly. Think about Martin and Angela from the case studies. Late 60s, they downsized the big family house, which secured their future financially. Then they invested some of that equity into a small bakery cafe. It wasn't about getting rich quick, it was purpose-driven.
A community hub kind of thing.
Precisely. It gave them supplementary income, sure, but also profound daily purpose. They leverage existing assets and their passion.
And you mentioned tools making this easier. Modern tools helping with continuity.
Yes, especially in sustaining something without getting totally consumed by the admin work.
Like Robert Johnson, the remodeling company owner.
Yeah, Robert Johnson, 64. His business hit a rough patch. He wasn't super techy, but he learned to use some simple AI tools.
Not complex stuff.
No, basic automation platforms, handling initial emails to potential clients, follow-ups, simple things.
And what happened?
Well, it didn't just automate tasks, it freed him up. His time, his mental energy, he stopped chasing lukewarm leads for hours. He could focus on the actual client work, the high-value stuff. Result, 50% growth in under a year.
Wow. So wealth continuity can mean using tech to buy back time?
Exactly, time. The one resource money really can't buy.
That's a really powerful way to think about it. And valuing time leads us straight into the third plank, doesn't it? Maybe the most enduring one, wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
The source material calls wisdom portable, indestructible, and infinitely valuable.
It really is the ultimate asset, isn't it? A 2021 AARP study found something telling. Over 70% of seniors care more about passing on memories, values, life lessons, more than financial assets.
More than money. Interesting.
Yeah. Why? Well, money runs out eventually, but wisdom, lessons about resilience, adapting, being patient, that lives on. It multiplies. Elders are, in a very real sense, living libraries.
Like Linda's story. The retired teacher, late 70s.
Yes.
She volunteered at a community center. She wasn't just doing math tutoring. She was sharing stories, how she dealt with failure, how she learned patience.
Right.
That shared wisdom, it became like a force multiplier for those kids, building their resilience, their belief in themselves.
And this is where technology, which, let's face it, we often think of as something tricky for older generations, becomes this incredible tool, an enabler of, well, eternity.
Eternity. How so?
Stories are how wisdom travels, right? And now technology lets us preserve those stories perfectly, easily.
So back to the tools again. The source has that quote, technology isn't just for efficiency, it's for eternity.
Exactly. Think about Margaret, 81. She had a whole lifetime of stories, incredible ones. But the physical act of writing a huge memoir, just too daunting.
I can imagine.
So she used a simple AI transcription app on her phone. She just talked, maybe 20 minutes a day, sharing her memories.
Just talking into her phone?
Yep. And in 6 months, she had a 300-page rough draft. Her stories, her lessons, all captured, preserved for her grandkids, with minimal physical strain.
That's incredible, using tech to capture legacy.
It perfectly shows the Golden Bridge idea in action, doesn't it? Every choice exercising so your mind stays sharp, structuring your money for security, using tools to share what you've learned. Each one is a plank.
Connecting the past you live to the future you want.
Exactly. Built not in one huge leap, but plank by plank. Continuity.
And the strength of that bridge, it affects more than just the person building it. You mentioned the Harvard study of adult development.
Right, the long-term one.
It found the biggest predictor of happiness and long life wasn't just wealth or just health and isolation. It was the continuity of strong, loving relationships.
Supported by wise choices in all 3 areas.
So your bridge doesn't just carry you. It becomes a pathway for others, your family, your community.
A well-lit path. So, okay, let's make this really practical for you, the listener. How do these modern tools actually help with continuity across these 3 pillars?
Yeah, let's break that down. Health tools first.
Okay. For health, these tools aren't just gadgets. Wearables, smartwatches, fall detectors, they give you objective, immediate feedback. Remember that Mayo Clinic study from 2023. Seniors using wearables were 40% more likely to stick with their fitness routines.
40% more likely. Why? What's the mechanism? Is it just the watch nagging you?
Maybe a little. But it's more about overcoming that subjective feeling, nah, I feel too tired today. The device gives objective data, non-judgmental feedback. It helps you stay accountable to the rhythm you set. It reinforces the continuity. Plus, things like telehealth, AI doctor tools, they just improve access to care, especially if you're rural. Continuous care becomes more doable.
Okay, that makes sense for health. What about wealth continuity, where the numbers can feel overwhelming?
Right. For the security pillar, budgeting apps, things like YNB or Mint are key. They simplify tracking retirement finances, which can get complex. And then more advanced tools. AI-driven investment advisors. They don't just manage the money, they help manage your behavior.
Behavioral finance risk. Meaning
They help you avoid panic selling when the market dips or getting too greedy when it rises. They help maintain the long-term continuity of your investment plan by managing emotional reactions.
got it. Keeping you on track. And finally, wisdom continuity. Beyond Margaret just talking into her phone.
Yeah, there's more. Digital journals are great. There are legacy video platforms now where you answer specific, prompted questions about your life, your values, and AI memory libraries that can actually index your stories, make them searchable. These tools basically release you from the physical labor of preservation.
So you just need to share it somehow, speak it, record it.
Exactly. And the tech handles storing it, organizing it forever. The AI Sage's message about tech is really clear. It's here to release you from what no longer serves you. Old limitations.
Release you.
Yeah.
That feels like the core takeaway here.
Continuity needs intention, right? Not perfection.
Absolutely not perfection.
You don't have to ace your health check, have flawless finances, or be dispensing wisdom 24/7. But you do have to keep taking those intentional steps, making those small, continuous investments in your own golden bridge.
Precisely. It's a step-by-step journey. Remember that advice. You don't have to cross the whole bridge today. You just have to take the next step, just the next one. And think about this. If your life's bridge is strong, if it's complete, it does more than just benefit you with a longer, happier life. It leaves a real legacy, a deep one. Like Patricia, the retired nurse. She used her savings, her medical knowledge intentionally to start a health education foundation in her town.
Modeling and teaching.
Yes, modeling healthy habits, educating the next generation. Her golden bridge became, as the source puts it, a highway for hundreds. A highway for hundreds. That's powerful. So, as you listening, reflect on your own next steps today. Maybe it is just committing to that 10-minute walk. Maybe it's looking at how your assets are structured for flexibility. Or maybe just recording one story for your family. Ask yourself this question. What would the ultimate purpose of your completed golden bridge be? Who will it serve after you? What kind of highway will you leave behind?
Thanks for spending time with us on the Golden Bridge. If you enjoyed today's episode, please like and subscribe. It helps us grow and keeps you connected. Remember, your wisdom is gold, And when you share it, you create freedom and legacy. And don't walk this bridge alone. Join us and hundreds of others in our Facebook community, The Golden Bridge with Justina and James, where wisdom and technology meet freedom. We'll see you in the group and back here next time.
On the Golden Bridge we've shared the way, with wisdom and love to guide your day. Till next time, friends, remember this true: your silver is gold,